A few years ago when I was freelancing, I struggled with staying focused. It felt like everything was competing for my attention, my work, my personal life, and my family. I tried all kinds of strategies to improve my focus, Pomodoro techniques, regular exercise, or even caffeine, but none of them really worked. Then a year ago, I hit a turning point. That's where I realized something important. It's about understanding what causing you to lose focus in the first place. In this video, I'll explain why staying focused is tough for many people and share a simple 3-step process that transforms my focus and can help you do the same. You see, many people often ask, how can I stay focused? But a better question might be, how can I minimize distractions so that I can stay focused? The truth is, distractions are the real culprit behind the lack of focus. Whether it's from social media, constant phone notifications, or even background noise. These things pull our attention away and disrupt our productivity. Rather than forcing ourselves to focus, we should shift our energy towards reducing or removing those distractions in our lives. You see, this approach isn't about fighting distractions. It's about taking control of our own environment and changing the habits that create them. In fact, many distractions come from bad habits we have developed without even realizing it. To tackle this, we need to shift our mindset and slowly reduce these distractions until they no longer control us. See, most people think that distractions only come from external, like noises from the external environment, your social media or phone notification. But the truth is, internal distractions can be destructive too. For example, I used to check my phone for emails while I was working, even though I knew I needed to focus. At first, I thought the phone was the problem, but after thinking about it, I realized that it wasn't about the phone, it was my mind. In fact, I was stressing about the deadlines and worrying about the things that I haven't finished yet. So, I started to examine the causes of distractions and found that they fall into 2 categories: internal and external. External distractions include things like noise, online notifications, or even people interrupting you. They are very obvious and easy to spot. But internal distractions are trickier. They come from your thoughts, your emotions, and your mental state. 𝐂𝐋𝐈, the author of the book Indistractable, explains that internal distractions are challenging because they usually come from psychological factors. For instance, boredom is a common internal distraction. Sometimes when we feel bored, we turn to things like social media or mindless browsing just to avoid uncomfortable feelings. It might give a temporary relief, but it takes away our attention from doing things that are important to us. Another internal distraction is negative bias. You see, our brains are wired to focus more on the negative things like the past mistakes, the bad news, rather than the positive ones. For instance, if you hear about recession coming soon, you might start worrying about your future, even though everything else in your life is going well. And finally, rumination. Rumination occurs when you get stuck thinking about your past mistakes or future worries. That's why it distracts you to make it hard for you to focus on the task at hand. Like for my case, I used to constantly worry about what was still left to do, instead of focusing on the work right in front of me. And to be honest, it really drained my mental energy. You see, the key here is you have to learn how to recognize these distractions, whether it's internal or external, and also know how to deal with them effectively. Once I started understanding what was really pulling me from my work, I could start handling it better, rather than just working harder to concentrate. Now, you might be thinking, that makes sense, but how do I actually start? Can I really change the way I focus? The answer is yes, you absolutely can. And it all starts with the steps I'm about to share with you. Here's how you can start improving your focus with 3 simple steps. Step number 1, detect through identification. The first step you need to do is to figure out what's actually distracting you. Is it your phone, maybe social media or email notifications? Or is it something in your mind like stress, or do you feel very bored? For example, I noticed I was checking my phone every few minutes while I was working. And once I recognized this bad habit, I began to take steps to manage it. And here's the thing I want to emphasize. To improve your focus is not just about changing your habits. It's about recognizing and taking responsibility for your distractions. By constantly doing this, your focus will gradually improve over time. So take a moment to ask yourself, what's pulling me away right now? Step 2, define with intention. Once you know what's distracting you, it's time to do something about it. You may begin by asking yourself, how will I take responsibility for managing my distractions? The key here is to make a decision to take control. Like for me, before I do my core work in the morning, I plan to turn off my phone and set specific time to check my social media or emails. And it really helped me to focus and get more things done without constant interruptions. Therefore, I believe you can also do the same. All it takes is being intentional and setting boundaries. So decide what's truly important to you and take a moment to reflect why it matters. And once you understand the reason, stick to it. And step 3, develop through implementation. Now that you have identified distractions and set your intentions, it's time to put it into action. You see, when it comes to implementation, you don't need to make any big changes all at once. All you need is to make small tweaks which can make a huge difference. Like for me, when I'm diving into deep work in the morning, I usually turn off my phone and put it out of sight. I also use this app called Stay Free to track my screen time every single day. So that's why all these small changes that I did not only help me to reclaim back my focus and also improve my well-being. Therefore, you can start by doing just one thing today. Whether you want to shut down your phone while you're doing something important, or turn off all notifications, or even going for a quick walk when you are feeling bored. The key here is to start small, easy changes that fit into your current routine, and then you start to build momentum from there. Besides designing your environment, your inner mental states also plays a huge role in your ability to stay focused. I know this because there were days when I just felt bored or tired, which caused me to lose concentration in my work. So what I did is to take a 10-minute break to meditate. And it was such a game changer for me because meditation helped me to practice mindfulness and also train my mind to focus better. I would use simple techniques like focusing on my deep breathing to bring myself back to the present moment and get back on track. And after practicing meditation for every single day, I'm amazed that it helps me to improve my attention span and also my mental clarity. And most importantly, it helped me avoid getting distracted and stay focused when I need to. And of course, there will be times that you experience negative self-talk like anger, stress, or worry. These emotions can make it harder for you to stay focused. And here's the thing I want you to know. When that happens, it is important for you to acknowledge these feelings instead of pushing them away. You can try this simple formula that I use, which I call it the 4A formula. Acknowledge, ask, action, and assess. First, to acknowledge means you have to recognize and accept the emotion that you are feeling. Instead of denying or suppressing it, the key here is to notice it. This will help you to counter any negative bias or rumination when it happens, which often make the emotions feel even stronger. You can ask yourself a few clarifying questions, like for instance, what triggered this emotion? Is this reaction proportional to the situation? By reflecting on the cause, you start to gain a different perspective, which helps to reduce the intensity of the feeling. And after reflecting, it's time to take a positive action to shift your focus. For example, instead of dwelling on the emotion, you can choose to take a break, go for a quick walk, or take a deep breath. This helps redirect your energy and gives your mind a space to recover and regain clarity. And finally, assess the situation once you have calmed down. You may ask yourself, how can I use this experience to grow? What can I learn from this? This reflection not only helps you make sense of the emotions, but also helps you to prevent them from taking control next time. By using this approach, you can manage these negative emotions effectively and avoid staying stuck in a cycle of rumination or negative bias that can cause you to lose focus easily. Now that you have got a step to stay focused, now think of focus like a muscle. At first, it might feel weak, but as you start reducing distractions and practicing these steps, you are actually strengthening that focus muscle. The more you practice, the easier it gets to stay on task when things around you are getting busy. When you treat focus like a muscle, it gets stronger with practice. So what happens when you start focusing better? First, you will notice a big difference. Instead of feeling all over the place, you will feel more in control and productive. Now imagine you are getting through your tasks one by one, staying focused without any distractions. At the end of the day, you will feel good about what you have accomplished. As you keep practicing, your mind will feel clearer. And over a period of time, you get better at staying focused because it has become a second nature. When you strengthen your focus every single day, it's not just about getting things done. It's more about helping you to focus on what matters to you the most. And eventually, you will feel proud about what you have done by removing all those unnecessary distractions in your life. I hope this video helped you learn how to stay focused on what really matters to you, even when life gets busy. If you found it useful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new to my channel, and share with anyone who could benefit from it. I would also love to hear from you. What distractions do you struggle with the most? Drop a comment and let me know so that we can learn from each other. As we close, remember this: what you focus on expands. So channel your energy towards what truly matters to cultivate the success and peace you deserve. I'll see you again in my next video.